Tristan, we should kick you off the podcast.
Let's take a vote. Who wants to kick me off? Oh, okay.
Bye. Welcome to TRIFLIX Cast. I'm Cole.
And I'm David. And that's nobody
this person
over
doesn't
there.
exist.
Yeah. But
we're TRIFLIX. We do lots of things with cameras, and we take pictures and videos, and we like to play around with our equipment and our drones, and we're just buddies that sit around and talk, and we don't ever really get much done.
but this is a special episode because we have a guest, some loser who just got fired from his own job, Tristan Watkins. What did you...
Welcome to the show. Now you're speechless. Oh, come on. Give me an answer.
Yeah. What the heck?
Are you being mean?
Is that my intro now? Hi, I'm Tristan. I'm here. I own...
Well, anyways, so we're talking about this today. We're gonna start talking about.
We're gonna talk about what we ate.
Welcome to the podcast. My name's
Get in your
Tristan.
corner.
And I founded this company.
No. Okay. If everyone can erase George Washington, we can erase you.
Yeah, you're not the Steve Jobs of
Are
TRIFLIX.
we started? Is this the podcast?
I have no idea. I'm so lost.
Roll the intro. We're gonna cut back, and I'm just showing my back to. What's up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to a new episode of the TRIFLIX Cast, the show where we break down things in our industry. What's that industry? Filmmaking, entrepreneurship, creative individuals doing neat things.
Is that new? Creative? Like crazy creative?
Like crayons.
Oh, okay.
Or crayon.
Like Crayola.
Crayons.
Crayon?
It's a crayon.
Yeah,
Crown?
so we own a creative media studio based out of Columbus, Indiana, and I can probably turn around now.
You may come out of your corner. Welcome, sir.
So we learn a lot of things, and those are things that we want to share with you because why
we
not?
love you.
Yeah, I don't have IP on the things I learn. Let's pass it around, help people out.
We're in a business that flourishes in the creative community. Community is the big word there because we're all a community and we all help each other. And that's the cool thing about what we do.
Yeah.
That's why I like it.
Yeah.
We ain't out here cutting each other's throats.
Yeah.
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 So
Anyways, sorry. I didn't mean to ruin your intro.
I didn't mean to interrupt. I'm sorry.
No, really. You're fine. Go ahead, buddy.
All right.
I insist.
Hey, let's do a quick recap. Last episode, we talked about phones for an hour.
It was so bad that when I wrote the description, I even mentioned it.
I really liked that conversation because I thought it was kind of insightful on the direction that technology is going. Everything's getting smaller, which isn't a surprise.
Yeah.
Computers used to take up entire rooms. MIT and NASA were the only ones that had them, and now everybody and their grandchildren
I have one on my wrist.
a little phone.
It's a whole computer.
It's a whole computer.
It's doing its own thing.
It is crazy.
I mean, it's connected to something else that's feeding it information, but that's how it essentially just feeds internet. I mean, there's still there's still RAM and storage and a processor and a screen. It's all self-contained,
Yeah.
Right.
which blows my mind.
You could fit the same processor in that watch that you would fit in a phone.
Oh yeah,
And
All
that
day
means
long.
it's the same one that's going to go in the MacBook.
Yep, the one that's right.
That one right there.
It would get so hot, like just the thermal, but whatever.
Oh yeah, true. Just burn through your wrist.
It's like, but it's so powerful.
It could do everything my iPhone can do.
You get like the Thanos, like half of his body at the end of the Avengers. It's
just like burnt.
Yeah. Okay. So we talked about phones, and then we ended on POV drones because that's a DJI. It's a company that we use for our drone currently, as well as our gimbal, and they make really cool stuff. Really,
Is a drone for our gimbal? No, wait. The company that makes our gimbal makes the drone.
yes,
Yeah,
DJI produces both
I didn't
of
know
those.
that. I wasn't tracking there.
Oh really?
No.
They're
so
very
make-
good at technology and stabilization.
Well, they make a they make a
makes
ton
sense.
of just camera related products. I mean, I guess trying to think. I know it's definitely stabilizers and then drones, and I think they do a couple other things. I couldn't tell you, but those are the things I own, so that's what I can tell you.
Mm-hmm. And they're coming out with something new that hopefully we'll own. If it's good. We haven't got a review yet.
Oh, it's out.
Have you seen the reviews?
Yeah, I actually, so obviously all the big YouTubers did, their quick reviews on it. And
what is it?
So this is a big deal. So everything up till now, and DJI has made, I don't know, I'm trying to think, they've probably had, at least 10 to 12, versions of what their original drone was, which I believe they started with the original Phantom. And over that period of time, they've just continued to release drones that have helped to, bring the accessibility level of a cinematic experience, with a camera on a drone that's stabilized, easy to use, and it essentially flies itself.
Yeah.
And that has just gotten better over time. But fast forward to today, and people aren't super concerned with the visuals of it, and it's more about the agility of a drone. And we've seen that with drone racing. We've seen that with even people now. I mean, you put on this type of a drone, you would put a GoPro on it, and you fly it with a headset, and people will fly it through homes. They'll fly it through abandoned buildings. And that specifically is called an FPV drone. Tristan, you know what FPV stands for?
First person view.
Yeah, you're so smart. I love you.
Ooh. I'm stupid. I didn't know that.
You did?
No.
What was your guess going to be?
I don't know
It's like
I had no idea.
FPS, first person shooter, first person view.
Boom, boom. Like, yeah, I get
It's a bing bong.
Bang,
To me, you just got bing bong.
But
dead.
the reason it's called that is because that drone itself is not just a tablet attached to a remote. It's a remote that you hold, and then you have an actual headset, kind of like a VR headset, which I hate to call it that because, it's not like if you turn your head, you're in that virtual reality.
Depends. You can do 360 cameras on them, but
you can, yes.
Less frame rate, and you'd probably get motion signals.
It's like a full view goggles.
Yes. Yeah. And most people that have done the hacking where they do 360 cameras or they try different things, those are all, up to this point, they've all been these buy a kit, buy the pieces, and put it together. And DJI themselves only had the system, which was the FPV system. So, the board that attaches, the headset. Yeah. And I think they had a controller as well. But anyway, so the big deal is that this is the first, commercially consumer available FPV drone that you can just go pick up. It comes with the whole system. It works. It throws it together, and it's got of course, a stabilized 4K camera. With a huge field of view that's gonna yield a lot better shots than what we've been looking at.
For what application?
So the cool thing is like now it'll go beyond what we've seen, right? Where it's like, it's just cool to show off your acrobatics. You're like, I can do a backflip or a barrel roll, and I can go through this abandoned building and come out a tube and then come out a window. And all of that stuff was super impressive. But now, like I was showing Tristan the other day, there's a real estate video where this guy brings his drone in the house and he just kind of flies through the house in one single take of the whole house. And, these drones are, essentially pocketable to a certain degree, as compared to like what we use, which is a Phantom 4 Pro V2. And that's huge. I mean, that's, if we flew it in this house, papers and things would, stuff would fall off your shelf, and it's crazy. But these little drones, you can just fly them through anywhere.
Yeah. And what's the weight on these? Do you remember?
I don't. I should know all of these stats because, I just know that we buy them big enough that we have to have them registered with the FAA. But I want to say that these are actually underneath the weight threshold. I don't quote me on that though, because of course, like that's all regulatory stuff, and you should consult the rule book on when you're flying and where you're flying. Of course,
thought that was the design for these, was they were like 1 gram underneath of the regulation, so you don't have to register these ones. That was one of the selling points.
I knew that was they were trying to make that their draw. I just couldn't remember if they achieved it or not, because their drone is not as small as most FPVs. It is larger and heavier than most of the FPVs that are available to build now. The only reason is because, again, they've got stabilizers for the camera. I think it's only a single or a dual axis as opposed to, a 4 or 5 axis stabilizer. So you're only really getting a couple angles, but still, I mean, having that plus the flight time's like doubled. Usually you only get like 6 to 8 minutes, and I know that it's at least 20 minutes.
That's really good.
Which is impressive.
Yeah.
But most of the body is now the battery.
Tristan showed me a video from Corridor Crew. I think it was Ren.
Yeah.
It was ridiculous. He got one of these like cool drones, but he like wrecked it like once or twice.
Yeah.
They expect you to wreck him.
He's wrecked his a lot. The FPV drone he was flying, and he was just like in this like wooded area out in California, and he just biffed it and hit a tree. And that guy actually, he got reached out to by some dude over in Europe who asked him like, hey, can I write a story on this? Apparently that's noteworthy that it was the DJI, the new drone, and he was just doing testing with it because DJI usually reaches out to him for feedback ahead of time. And it was cool because, it is something that the mainstream is interested in. It is noteworthy. It is a new product that's the first commercially produced complete set that you can buy that is like at a reasonable price as well.
Yeah, to a certain degree.
It's $1,200.
It's a little high though, because you can actually do a pretty good FPV setup for probably under $1,000, at least with a beginner. Because I think that's the huge point is like you could get everything for probably under $1,000 as a beginner. I mean, if you go above, you could blow that budget out for sure. Because some of those parts are like carbon fiber, and you can get pretty crazy with it. But yeah, no, I think, for an intro price, it's a little high. It's a little spicy, but the thing is what you're getting is when you buy an FPV drone and you fly it, there are no safeties. You're just flying and going and hoping that when you wreck, you don't wreck it bad enough that you can put it back together.
But they usually have the guards on the wings and stuff, which isn't something you get on a normal drone for like commercial work that we would do for like short films or a lot of external real estate work.
True, but the only nice thing about the DJIs is they all have sensors.
Yeah,
with a proven system.
You lose with the
I guess that's what I meant as a safety feature. It's like with our Phantom 4, it's got sensors, down, front, back, and side to side, so that hopefully you don't hit anything. And there's a specific beginner mode on the new FPV drone where you can actually fly it and have safety features, and it'll hover too. These are all things that you cannot do with an original FPV. You're having to pick your hovering speed and using your sticks.
If you let go of the sticks, it drops.
It just drops. Right.
And that's not a problem with this one?
Nope. Unless you use like the pro mode, which now you're all locked in, no safety features, but the top speed is 87 miles an hour.
That's pretty intense.
Like, could you imagine like having those goggles on and flying 90 miles an hour, like just like through
traffic,
whatever,
dude, maybe not at traffic. Like road height and just like weaving in cars. But like to like sub that out and call it like if you're like doing a motorcycle chase scene, and now you no longer have to put someone his life in danger. You can just sub it out with the motorcycle and stabilize it in post.
Helicopter or anything weird.
Yeah. Like there's just it's really cool that you can get these unique shots, because honestly, if the drone hits a car, it's like, oh no, you put you wouldn't even probably scratch the paint with those blades because they're really cheap. Like
they will blow apart first.
Yeah, they're intended to blow apart. Right. That's their role. Because if they absorb all that energy, then the main part of the drone itself won't take it. So there's benefits to it.
But it's crazy. It's super cool. I've always wanted to get into it and just never had the time or really the funds to think about it as a fun thing. And now I'm kind of like, this one's got me interested because I didn't want to have to build it and watch the YouTube videos and go through the whole thing. And we're talking all the way down to like buying the boards and soldering the, your wires together and getting the chips and making sure it all functions. Cause I'm like, no, it was really intense.
Cool. Yeah.
But the cool thing about that is before everything else, there's actually a guy, and I wish I could remember his YouTube channel because that would be awesome to plug in, but he has this whole FPV business that he's built, and he manufactured the first FPV drone that is actually can hold the weight of a RED camera.
Really?
It's a full-size RED camera.
Is it just 4 blades, or does it have more because of the weight?
So it's a double, so it's 8. So it's 8 blades, but they're stacked on top of each other. So you still only have 4 arms, but it's a dual blade system on each arm.
That's really neat.
That's tanky.
It's insane.
Beef.
They've done
Where's the beef?
they've done some crazy things with that drone.
Yeah. Do you have any footage of it, like that you've seen?
Yes. I'm trying to think. The guys actually, like a lot of the other bigger YouTubers that do camera work specifically, like the one that always sticks out to me, it's Gene. He's Potato Jet.
Oh yeah.
He did a video with him once and let him fly it, and it was nuts. I'm like, I could not imagine throwing a $100,000 camera rig on a drone that is pretty much just you just fly it and hope you don't fall.
It's also just pieced together.
Yeah.
It's like some dude made it in his garage and like, yeah, I'll take it up.
Right. Here we go.
Yeah.
So it's but all of this has happened pre DJI. So it's super cool that they have that product now, and we're interested in it. So I showed Tristan and he was like, I think I could get behind that.
Yeah. I mean, the business case is there, especially for real estate stuff. Outside of that, I can't see any clients that would find the value of it. But with real estate, it makes a lot of sense because you have a wide angle, so you see a lot of the real estate. You can go through the whole thing in one take. I personally think there's a benefit to doing real estate videos in a route, so people can see what the layout of the building is, not just what the rooms look like. I just think that as a buyer, that makes a lot of an impact to get an idea of how your family and everything will move in. And these drones provide that to a next level that gimbal walking through doesn't necessarily, because it's a lot easier to maneuver with these drones.
Oh yeah, because I mean, think about the mass of a person plus a gimbal and a full size camera, and you're maneuvering your way through a house, and then now you could just like stand on the outside and just kind of fly your little about that whatever. I'm trying to make the size, and I'm like, if you're listening, you're not going to see this, but essentially probably, I don't know, 6-7 inches in width, and you could fly that thing through the whole house.
Yeah, it has a unique shape compared to the other FPV drones too. It's like I don't know, it's not like praying mantis arms. And that's like how the wings go up, where they like angle upward and then down. It's weird.
You know what it made me think of? Do you guys ever play Halo?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like the purple,
The Banshees?
the Banshees.
Ooh.
It kind of looks like a Banshee.
Oh, yeah.
Banshee.
First time I
That'd be
saw it, I was
cool.
like, that looks like a Banshee from Halo.
That's cool.
That'd be a fun little custom project. Like see somebody doing on YouTube. Like, I just made a real Banshee in real life. You're just flying it around.
It's got to make the sound though.
Yeah. Yeah.
I can't remember. It was way more high pitched than that, but I don't.
Yeah, it's hard
I don't
to-
got it.
Yeah. I think you get like a purple D brand skin or something, like a wrap on it.
There you go. Which like the whole reason, so everybody knows who's listening right now, like the whole reason that we're also talking about this plus the real estate is because we do a lot of that. A lot of our business is based in the real estate realm, and we do mostly photography, but Tristan and I have worked on multiple projects where we're flying the drone, and then we're also on the ground doing inside and outside shots for larger properties. And so we're always looking for ways to streamline that process, and this sounded like a cool opportunity, but the only thing is we have no knowledge of FPV flying. And I know it's a lot different from, flying a standard drone. I'm like, I've got countless hours on that, but this one kind of scares me.
So that's a pretty good segue into what exactly we do. We do. What do we do?
What do we do?
What do we do?
So
I don't know, Tristan. What do we do?
Well, I mean, we have like our list of photo, video, web, podcasts, and live streaming. And even though podcasts and live streaming is technically video, it falls in its own separate category because people don't usually associate them together. They're like, oh, do you guys do live streaming? It's like, yes, we can make a video. And they're like, no, a live stream. So
Same thing.
we do all of that. The primary markets, like you said, photography is primarily going to be in like the real estate realm. We do some video, but it's more on like the high end.
Yes.
The houses sell so fast right now. You don't need a video to push a low end one. You
Yeah.
just need it to capture like, those 500,000 plus homes where,
Especially if it's unique.
yeah,
If it's got that kind of feature. And we saw a lot of people use it during some of the harder times of COVID because people were still buying homes, but there were people who were reluctant to have people walk through their house during a showing.
well, that, and then you also have how many people have $500,000 plus budgets, like $2 million budget. And
Yeah.
it's like, well, I don't have time to go see it, and I don't want to waste my time to go see it. So can I just see a video now and see if I'm interested? And if I'm interested, then I'll show up.
Right.
And you got people with that much money, they don't want to waste their time. Like their time is very valuable, versus like the 200,000, where if you don't go make an offer in 30 minutes of the listing, you're gonna miss it. These $500,000 homes sit for a little bit longer, maybe another day. So I feel like for that reason, we don't do as much video in that realm, but we do a lot of videos and other things like commercial work, doing actual commercials for clients, but then commercial work, like tutorials and training material and content for large industrial places. And
It's that corporate work.
that corporate, yeah, blue collar, white collar, don't matter. It's all corporate.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, we do a little both. I mean, we're talking about possibly doing some stuff for agricultural work now and trying to get into that market a little bit.
Yeah.
So
Anything that's whenever we talk about it, it's always hard because the umbrella falls. There's so much that falls underneath of it, and so we always find it very easy to be like, we're a media creation company or a content creation company, because that's what we do.
yeah,
If you need content for your business or for your personal use or whatever it might be, it's whether it's photo or video or even audio.
yeah, doing audio.
Yeah.
Because we're all a bunch of freaks and nerds when it comes to equipment, and this helps us fund our addictions.
We're pretty balanced between those areas too, because Tristan's more on the video side, I would say.
Yeah.
Cole, you're on the photo side, and I'm like in between, where I can help with like the live streaming and all the technicality stuff that make it all like come together in like a Voltron type
Like
super
a
monster.
like a PBJ.
Yeah. A little PBJ. Yeah.
You ever eat just a slice of bread?
Yeah.
Weird. Ever just eat a spoon of peanut butter? You can do it. It's a little
Yeah.
weird. A spoon of jelly? You're asking for a heart attack. But you put
Or
all three
diabetes.
together?
Yeah,
Oh, it's delicious.
It's completely normal. People don't even bat an eye.
A
Yeah.
spoon of jelly?
Yeah, or just like you're out in public, you're just scooping peanut butter or scooping jelly or just eating slices of bread. But if you eat
I'd
it all
look
at
twice.
once,
It's
okay.
I'll do a scoop of peanut butter every once in a while, but it's
Out in
still,
public? Like, do you
yes,
take it,
with
like-
a jar.
Yeah.
Like a jar of mayonnaise.
Yeah, I'm saying like the lunchroom at work, you're just eating a jar of peanut butter.
Just like,
Dude, nothing better than a PBJ.
so are we the pieces of bread and then he's the jelly?
I don't know, whatever
We
you
let
want
the
to be.
viewers decide.
Who is
he a
the
piece
peanut
of
butter,
ham?
the jelly,
Yeah.
and the bread? You're plain white toast.
Maybe you should change it to a hamburger. There's more ingredients than that.
Oh, we don't have any more employees.
I know, that's the problem, is we need more people.
Yeah, we need some lettuce and tomatoes.
Where's our tomatoes?
But just to clarify, we're not to the stage of bringing people on to pay them. So if you want to come work for free, that's fine. We'd be happy with that.
Interns, all the interns,
Yay, unpaid internships. Woo.
or just like college credits. Some classes require you, like Spencer.
That's true.
He finished up. He finalized, and we're so sad.
Hi, Spencer.
May you rest
If
in
you're
peace.
listening.
Well,
Yeah, if you're listening from up
He's
there.
gone. Don't know what happened to
this
him.
is only 2-story buildings. So I don't understand.
He's on the roof.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so in his case, he was taking college classes, and it required him to work with some local companies in the film industry, or just the. I mean, his degree is technically film, so
Yeah.
film industry.
We got to get him to do a testimonial video for us.
Vouch for us.
So yeah,
Hopefully it'd be good.
Leave a 5-star review in return.
yeah. And
There
we
you
got
go.
another kid. He's not working with us on projects, but it's a high schooler's senior project, so he needs like guidance and input on his short film, which has changed a lot just because of COVID. And
Gosh, yeah.
we know that, sometimes you have something planned for a shoot or a client's scheduled, and then something comes up where maybe the state legislation changes and the number of people in attendance changes, or the wedding venue changes, and then you have to kind of adapt. So it's always fun working with people that need advice on those topics.
Heck yeah. We can spread our wealth of knowledge because
Oh, yeah.
we're so good at what we do.
Yeah, we're the pinnacle of Midwest entertainment.
I like that. That could be our new tagline.
Yeah.
TRIFLIX, the pinnacle of Midwest entertainment.
I kind of wonder, like, in Columbus, who is? I mean, you do your business case and you're aware of who your competition, quote unquote, is. in terms of a business case and like who else is getting jobs within our industry, a lot of people that I've met along this journey have either stepped away from it or have moved up to Indy. So there aren't too many left in Columbus that work in the same industry. I know we have Ryan Furr, which we've had him on the podcast before, but I think his heart's really in music, and we're actually working on a shoot with him up soon where it'll be for a church, and he'll be actually performing the music, and he was hired in to perform the music, and we were hired in to do the video work. But he does a lot of high-end videos too, so I think one pays the bills and one makes him smile a little more.
We understand that.
Yeah, and then I mean, there's a couple of others, but I'm curious to see some other people's work in this area and see if anybody else is putting in the work like we are.
Heck yeah. And if you're interested in collabing or just like wanting to get a hold of somebody to like bounce ideas off of, we'd love to have you on the show or just get in touch.
Yeah, we can actually bring people in again.
Yeah.
Without any caution. So again, we talked about this from the first episode. This entire channel and episode used to be based on bringing in guests that were either creative entrepreneurs or independent people that were just trying to make a difference in the community. And we put a hold on that because of safety with COVID. And while other people may not mind, it's like we have family and wives and spouses and friends that we're close with that we visit, and we don't want to pass that around. So we see each other on like a daily basis, but we don't want to oversaturate.
Yeah, right.
The nice thing is Indiana legislation's changing here supposedly soon in April in the next
the
month.
Vaccines are for, I think they just opened up to 16 plus.
Oh yeah.
So almost everybody important.
I thought they said like it was either 60% of Indiana's either been vaccinated or has antibodies. I can't remember which one, but it's almost the same thing at this point.
Yeah, we were way up on the list.
Yeah.
Although you did call it, by the way. Marion County finally came out today and said that they were like, nah, you're still gonna have to wear a mask.
Yeah, it's good because it lets you know about your local politicians and what they believe, and some people are going to support those people. And Indiana Senator, I think Indiana Senator was the one that made this decision, right?
Governor. Yes,
okay.
Governor. Because I was Holcomb.
Sorry, it was Holcomb.
Yeah.
So
Holcomb
the governor
did that,
decided that it'll be up to the counties, but the state won't enforce it.
Yes.
Which, I mean, you just keep funneling it down, and then it gets closer and closer to where your votes actually count.
Yeah.
And I like that personally. I think that's really cool. Now, some people are really upset with the governor because they think it's like, what was the word? Not
careless.
Inexperienced. Yeah, like a careless decision. Like they're just kind of pushing this off. And but I think it's good because then you get to see how your vote has affected the way your local communities ran. And I really like that. Because if you don't like it, it's a whole lot easier to move from a county to a county if you don't like your local politicians than move state to state or country to country. So I'm all for it. And at the same time, this all brings us back to, we'd be happy to bring guests back on.
Yes, I know we got way off.
Columbus.
And if you have your reservations, we have multiple ways to bring you in otherwise. So we can either do a video chat or we can have you call in. We have ways to make all that work.
Yeah, because we're the video people now.
Yeah. Which, speaking of all that, we had a shoot today, and Tristan and I got in a talk about whether we wanted to use lav mics or shotgun mics. So
why are we bringing guns, and why are we talking about?
Oh, we're gonna get demonetized.
Yeah, what the heck is that? What's the difference? What is a shotgun and what's a lav mic?
I see why you said guns. I was like, I don't get it. I was like, how's lav a gun? I was like, oh.
Shotgun, man.
Why are we using a shotgun?
8 gauge, 12 gauge. What are we talking about?
Is it pronounced lavalier?
Lavalier.
Lavalier. I say lav. That's probably real Midwest of me.
Frenchy there.
You can say whatever you want.
Lavalier. So a lavalier mic is the mic that you usually see pinned on the top of somebody's shirt, and it's like a little ball of fuzz usually, or like a little tiny cylinder. And I'm like, but anyway, so it's usually right kind of near your neck.
And you hate them.
I hate them. And that's just me being real OCD, like just being like, I can't stand to see that little extra something that's like poking out of somebody's shirt, or it's like there's a wire or something, and it's just the extra little thing that kind of takes away from the video itself. And that's just me. Maybe David would agree. I don't know.
You're an idiot.
Yeah.
No,
So
For one of the videos I did for my church, we only had wireless, like the receivers, but they had a microphone built in, but we didn't have a lavalier, a wire to route up to them. And so they had big blocks like right here. I mean, you would hate it. I didn't like it either, but that was the budget we were working with.
Yeah,
and,
I think for BTS that's fine to do blocks like that, like things that aren't
sure.
intended to be professional. It's like let's just run and gun guerrilla documentary style. Let's shoot.
That doesn't bother me. I understand that.
I think that works. Like for your church, I'm sure that was fine. But
we do so much like interview talking head stuff, and I just think that crosses the line just to a certain degree where you know that little thing poking out of the shirt is just something that I see. It's where my eyes go, and I'm probably the only one, but it just does.
Yeah,
I bet if you watch any of the Apple events where like with Tim Cook or whatever. Where they're walking around announcing the new iPhones, iPads, the Macs. I bet you can never see their mics.
Well, especially now, because now it's like a full-blown production because of COVID. They're not even... it's not even live or on stage.
Yeah.
Which whoever's doing their production work, it's amazing.
Somebody with a budget.
Yeah. Well, whatever you think about their products, their production is killer.
Oh, it's fantastic. But yes, so... And that's just to be clear... That is just the cord and the microphone. And that goes into usually a transmitter that works with a wireless system. But my favorite is the shotgun mic, which is just a long cylindrical microphone that is very specific. Like if I were to point it at Tristan here across the table, it would pick up, you know, most of the audio that it picks up is what he's saying directly at the mic. It's very directional.
Yeah, and you've probably seen them before with people like walking around with cameras either in person or you've seen videos of them. It looks similar to the mics that we talked to on the podcast. It's just a smaller diameter than what we have here. And they're great because I think they have a richer sound profile and I prefer them. However, I care more about consistency and I would rather have a okay take and not lose it than to have like a perfect take and then there's a good chance we might miss something because either the audio cuts out or it's harder to monitor them normally, but now that we have our wireless system, it's a little bit easier.
Yeah, it was so nice today. I felt good, but
I love the wireless.
For people who are watching on the online here with the YouTube or whatever with video,
it usually attaches. Sorry for the clanking, but it usually attaches to something like that. That's just a box. But wherever you point this end at is where like most of the audio is going to be picked up, and it can do it from a really large distance. And sometimes we'll see it with a little dead cat.
Yeah, we got a whole video explaining that.
Yeah. Well, if you wanted to learn more about it, go watch the video. We're not going to talk about it anymore.
Go watch our short tutorial.
Yeah.
That was on well, we did one on audio gain, but we didn't talk about the wind covers on there. We did it on
you're right.
Hard Truth Hills BTS.
Yeah, my bad.
We break it down in there.
How to be a boom pole operator.
Yeah,
which is go watch that video. That's a great video. That's one of my favorite videos that we've done recently.
Creators. Yeah.
So I really like
those are good
the
guys.
boom poles. I think it sounds better. It's just you have to have an extra person on set, and they have to know how to monitor audio, and it takes a little bit of practice to do that.
Dude, you're gonna laugh at me.
Why is that?
Because I was literally monitoring the audio today, and all I could think about was the video we made. Like I was just like going off of your instructions that we did in the audio gain tutorial. I was like, I know how to use this now because I've seen the video like 4 times because I edited it.
Yeah. So we have a TRIFLIX team channel and the TRIFLIX Films channel. The films where we put our commercial work and our professional stuff and things that look real pretty. The team channel is where we put anything related to the team that makes our content. So that could be tutorials, it could be behind the scenes. It all's intended to be a mix of entertainment and education. And sometimes that's useful for us too internally. Sometimes we'll go back and reference these videos whenever we're working on a project. So like, oh man, how do I do that effect? So what could be just an internal catalog or library of information for our team, we offer externally to everybody.
Yes.
So
we think it's better to, What's our? It's inspire, educate, and entertain.
Entertain, educate, and inspire.
I got you.
Yeah.
Got him.
All three.
I know, right?
That's like the
almost did my job.
That's the three things that get people motivated to work, to learn, to grow. Is you watch something, it's like, oh, that was really entertaining. I want to learn how to make like cool VFX videos. That's what got me inspired. And then you see stuff that's like educational. It's like, oh, this is the thing that breaks down how to get there. Or you see something inspirational like a podcast where, you know, people talk about their history and what got them to where they are or why they do what they do. And to me, those are the three things that have always pushed me. So hopefully that's what pushes other people.
Yeah. No, I think my story is so inspiring. My dad gave me a small loan of $50,000 and then I got the business started.
Yeah.
I'm kidding.
He blew it all and then he came to me and he's like, can we partner? I was like, yeah,
I
sure.
was like, I need help. I don't have any money left.
That's a joke.
Yeah, it's a joke. I would never do that. We'd have ourselves a red. No.
Yeah. So, like I said, we go back and we watch our videos because sometimes we don't remember everything. Sometimes we have to go back and double check. And now's a good time to double check on last podcast when we said NFTs are non-fungible transactions.
Oh, thank you. Yes.
The T was a token.
Tokens.
Yeah.
Gosh.
NFTs.
My bad. It was my bad. So I apologize.
Clarification, NFTs, non-fungible tokens. And a token is... it's the currency.
Yeah, it's a little gold coin that you use at Chuck E. Cheese and use it to play skee ball.
I love
Kind of like that, but it's digital.
Right, but you can't touch it.
And in order to get that token, you have a product. Let's say this phone is a video. This is my product. This is the video that I made, and I'm going to go give it to this company, and I'm going to give it to them, and I'm going to put it here, and they're going to say this phone or this video exists, and they give me a token, and that process is called minting. And then you use that token, and whenever I sell it, I can give that token with that video to somebody else, and now they have the token, they have the video, and they have ownership of it. That's a very brief summary of what we talked about last episode and a little bit before with Bitcoin.
Yeah.
It's a similar process, but not exactly the same.
So it's not a transaction.
Well,
It's a token.
It can be a
It is.
transaction.
It is.
You transact the token.
Yeah. We were close. We
my
were so
brain.
close. And I was just proud that we both said it at the same time.
I thought it was cool.
Yeah, it caught me off guard, and so I was like, "Here we go." And I know
great
that
moment.
I probably listened to more about NFTs than anybody here, so I felt real dumb when that week, because we record on Thursdays, and so on Friday, another podcast came out that I listen to every week religiously, and they're like NFT, non-fungible token, and I was like, oh.
We're shifting subject on the same subject, but something slightly different. I don't really like Beeple. I don't like him. I think he seems like a really pompous kind of guy. But I respect his artwork so much. That man
Why
has...
don't you like Beeple?
Beeple. What's a Beeple?
I was gonna say,
what's a Beeple?
Somebody please explain who Mike Beeple, whatever his last name is.
It's like Wink something. Winkle.
It could be crap. That's what his
Beeple
Twitter
Winkle
handle is.
It is just crap, isn't it?
Yeah, it's Beeple crap on Twitter.
That's funny.
Okay, who's Beeple?
Beeple is the third richest artist in the world right now. He is one of the most successful, and the way he did it was using NFTs.
Digital artist.
Is it specifically digital?
Specifically digital. He has been doing digital art for the last 2 decades, 13 years or whatever.
So he's been consistently putting out an art piece a day for a very long time, years and years.
And that's why we hate him.
No. I think that's a good reason to hate him.
I had never heard of him or seen any of his art until recently with the whole blow up, and I was like, his stuff is it's very cool, but it's a lot.
Yeah, it's very abstract, but it has some underlying meanings to him, and people interpret it in all sorts of ways.
Which is art, right?
Yeah. He wants to invoke an emotion, and he gets it out of some people doing some pretty controversial arts. So he sold his every day. Like I said, he's been making art for a very long time, several years. It's 7+. I think it's closer to 10+, but either way.
Oh yeah,
Over a decade, pretty sure.
He sold all of this art collection for $1,000 a piece, which over a couple of years, that's about $50 million worth. And then he had some individual pieces that he auctioned off as well, and those came up to another 19 million. So he sold his entire collection for $69.3 million using NFTs. That's who he is, and he's a really cool artist. However, his personality, before he ever made the money, comes across as very egotistical, and he just rubbed me the wrong way in a lot of his interviews. But he's so smart and he's so talented, and it's like,
I'm just glad none of us are like that.
Don't be Kanye.
So, like, the reason why we're understanding more about his ego, or like how we think we may be understanding more.
He's probably fine.
Wrong.
Maybe it's like a character on camera.
But he did a collaboration. He did one in the past with a Corridor, because we just can't stop talking about
As
that
we've
small
said,
channel.
Small channel. They need the
Support.
They need all the support they can get. Poor guys.
I know, right?
They'll get somewhere someday. But they collaborated with Beeple, and they did like a teams challenge thing where two people got paired off and they had to make something in like 3 hours. And it had to be like distorted, weird things of like the crew. And then they would sell them as the NFTs for charity. So it's like super cool.
Yeah. I hate him for that reason. No.
So it's all connecting, and we're kind of understanding, like, wait a minute.
No.
But the way he treated his partner was very kind of demeaning. It kind of felt like he was like, oh, you're just a kid. I'm just going to be like, I'm Beeple. I'm going to make Beeple art. You can't have your name on this. You can't actually contribute anything.
Yeah, and to clarify, I thought it was hilarious.
Yeah. You thought it was really funny how he treated this guy so rude, and then
I just thought it was a whole act. I just think
so?
I think his whole shtick is like, I think it's his thing, right? Like that's how because I mean, everybody said it there. You know, one of the guys' name is Sam. Sam started the video, and he's like, I guess for Beeple, and he just like let out this huge string of cuss words, and I'm like, I think it's Beeple's thing, and I don't know. I just digged it. It's like this middle-aged dude that just is like hanging out with all these younger dudes that's just like cussing and running around and being kind of a not so nice person.
You have a lot more faith in humanity than I do, maybe. That might be the problem.
Yeah, that's true. But would you not
problem, my problem.
answer this question, both of you guys, as honestly as you can?
Okay.
Like, if you had been creating something and you felt like you were okay at it for 15 years, and then all of a sudden the accumulation of all that turned into $70 million, and you got all this notoriety, like, wouldn't it go to your head a little bit?
He was on the... Okay, I'll answer your question.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a good chance, it could happen.
I mean, I'm just saying, like, for a little bit. I mean, I mean, you'd have to try to keep yourself in check, but it would be hard. It would be hard to go from, like, what he was doing, and then all of a sudden it's just, like, boom, instant, just insanity.
Like, no one's trained to how to react to that type of situation. Because it's not, it happens so rarely. No one's going to be like, all right, we're going to spend a whole year learning about how it is to be famous and rich. Because that doesn't.
And he could be just a bumhole, and that's what he is. And I don't know. I'm just trying to play devil's advocate. I'd like to think that somebody could just be nice when they're at home, and maybe they're not like that on video. I don't know.
It doesn't counter your point so much. Like, maybe that still is an act, and maybe that's like his internet persona. Hobson is a rapper who has an online persona that he portrays in some of his music, and then other times, and it's like really dark and edgy, and the other times he'll do like more calm music, and he physically changes his appearance to reflect that. And a lot of artists do this. Joji with Pink Guy has done it before. It's not uncommon for an artist to have two alter egos for their development. The reason I don't think that's Beeple's case, and like he's not just the product of becoming successful, I've seen him interact with people on interviews and podcasts, and then also on Corridor before, and he has the same demeanor that he had before he was extremely wealthy and rich.
Gotcha.
So to me,
he's just that guy.
If it weren't for the fact that he was treating one of the nicest guys in the studio that way,
that's true.
Like, Peter is just a saint.
And he does fantastic work.
So
he's the one that impresses me the most every time he does something. But anyways, we should just do a whole podcast one time on
I don't
Corridor.
hate Beeple. It makes me sad that he treats people that way.
I gotcha.
And especially with the tone of the Corridors shows, like a lot of it, it's jokey, but it's usually sincere. And
That's
like how
true.
they come
Lighthearted.
across. Lighthearted.
Yeah.
Like fun. Like you could tell they're just a group of friends having fun. And then Beeple comes in.
Yeah.
Everybody
sucks.
It was definitely, it felt different.
Yeah.
So it could just be different, and that's why it feels so off. But
That's true.
I don't know.
I didn't think about that. It was a stray from the original or from the usual.
Yeah. Well, I think that's a valuable lesson for companies or collectives is whenever you do an integration, whether that's a collaboration or a brand integration or a sponsorship, make sure that you're taking on something that aligns with what you do as a company, or find a way to take it and make it yours. And I think Corridor's done a really good job with Beeple and other artists of they don't do a standard interview or a standard podcast. Like they try to make it creative, but there's also that element of personality. And like for an interview, the personalities can be different. It can be a clash, and because that's a conversation, that's different. But whenever it's something more on the entertainment side and less on like the conversation side, maybe it's just something to keep in your mind whenever you're running a business.
Oh yeah, no, and kind of like even kind of goes along with what you're saying, and then with Beeple and all that, because I listened to MKBHD's podcast as well. Another person that needs a shout out.
Yeah, small guy.
Everyone listens to MKBHD at least once. He's on everybody's recommended or trending page at least once. He's huge.
But it was cool because they were talking, him and his partner, I don't remember his name, but they were talking on the podcast about people who or companies that approach them that want them to sponsor or to give a free product or review something, and their process is very respectable in the fact that it's like they don't just say yes to everything because they could, and as big as they are, they could do whatever they want, but he's very specific that it has to flow with the brand, and it has to be a good product. It has to be something that somebody cares about. It's not just another knockoff or copy, or they're just trying to push something that maybe not bring value to the consumer. They're very specific, and I hadn't heard him talk about that. I mean, he seems like a very genuine guy in general, but then to have them talk about that, I was like, I like that. Like I would want to do the same thing, right?
Yeah.
Not just be a sellout, but work your way up and be respectable and be honest and just work with the people that flow with your brand. And so I know it's kind of essentially what you said, but it was very impressive, and I agree.
People look up to big YouTube channels, but they looked up to him before they got big. They looked up to him because it's usually somebody that's trustworthy or has credibility. And if a company turns their back to their audience enough times by promoting products that aren't quality, we talked about the PewDiePie keyboard this week. If you push enough products, you're going to lose your credibility, and then you're going to lose your audience. And because you lost your audience, you won't get sponsors, or the sponsors won't pay you as much because your viewership goes down. And there's a handful of YouTubers off the top of my head. It's like Snazzy Labs, Linus Tech Tips, NKBHD that are Gerald Undone. Like those are big reviewers that produce quality content, so you can see that they have the experience to back what they say. They only positively talk about products that they think are good, and then they never accept deals that require them to say positive things about it unless it's an ad slot, and then it has to be backed by like the actual company themselves. So
hey man, I love my Raycons.
Oh my gosh.
Raycon.
Get that out
This
of
episode is brought by Raycon Legend Shadow Man.
Where's my Raycan mans? Where's my shadowy Raycans?
My Raycans? Yeah, you won't catch us
No.
doing that. I don't promote gambling games.
No.
It seems like a bad idea.
I
Also,
agree.
David would quit if we ever promoted Raycon. He is such
Why, buddy?
He's an audiophile.
They're trash for their price. Man.
Those are great for the price, man. That's why I wear my Samsungs.
What is okay, David and Cole, what is the best sub $100 wireless headphones?
I don't know. Don't own them.
You don't like your Samsung Beans?
They're not sub 100.
I thought they were like 120. I mean, okay, under 150.
Okay.
Best wireless headphones.
Yeah, I think they were 140 or whatever.
They're lower now. You can get them on sale.
Well, now I bought them when they first came out.
Okay.
Honestly, those are probably the only ones that I own that are underneath that. So
Rich boy.
No, I value my audio experience just as much as probably it sounds like David does. I think that it's worth it. Like if you spend the money, you're going to get the quality out of it. Now, that's not always the case. Like I'm not going to go spend $550 on AirPod Maxes. But I've spent a pretty hefty amount on some headphones, and it's usually worked out for good. But I've been a Bose guy for a long time.
Bose.
I like how their sound profile is not super heavy on the bass, so that you actually get some other mids and highs in there. Because I mean, like the first time I put Beats on, it was just like, "Buh," and I was like, okay, this is all bass.
Yeah. But do you prefer in-ear or cups, cans?
I honestly prefer over ear. So the headphones that David's wearing right now, those are mine. Those are Surface headphones from Microsoft, which I know is kind of a weird thing to purchase, but they have great noise canceling, great sound, and they work well with what I have. So I have those. I actually have the second version as well. Both great headphones. And when I wear headphones at home, or I want to listen to music and I want it to be nice and I want it to be full and have a good experience, I put those on.
Yeah.
My buds are for talking on the phone. I mean, that's really all there is to it.
Okay, so if you weren't going to get the Raycons, what would you spend? Like, what other headphones would you get then? For
me, I'm not super into having wireless headphones because I'm not on the go listening to music a lot.
Yep.
Because if I'm out at a coffee shop and I have headphones in, I'm close enough to whatever I'm working with to plug it in with a cable, wherever my cable is. Is it on this side? What the heck? I hate these phones.
And use a dongle. Are you sure you have them on right?
I think it's the left. We're about to find out if I'm stupid. Is this on the left? That's the L right there.
Oh, okay, just making sure.
Yeah, so it's just different. So I like being plugged in, and
those just have the option.
Yeah,
it's just optional. It could unplug right here, which is nice. It's very nice. If I'm at home, I like to be cabled in still, and I like my open back over ear headphones.
Yeah.
It's just amazing sound stage, the sound quality. There's so many terms you could throw around with what that is, but you can turn it up louder and it doesn't make it louder. It's like adds in more detail.
Yeah.
And which is my favorite part about open can headphones.
So if you had the ability to choose, I mean, if you don't mind me asking this question, if you had the ability to choose between using your headphones and eventually having a good sound system, like to listen outwardly, because I don't think you have the option to do something along those lines now.
Not where
you live.
To turn up like loudspeakers
to crank
and
it,
bass. Yeah, not right now, not where I live. Yeah.
And I know you...
Dude, the Google Nest Hubs are the best wireless speakers I've ever had.
Oh, that's sad.
I love those. They're so much better than anything else I've used.
Because you've been using Beats for your entire life. Anything's better.
I've actually been using Jaybirds. I have the Gen 1s and I still use them. I love those things.
Those are in-ears. There's like...
okay. So I have the Beats, but they aren't even, they're not cans. They're just the cup on ear.
Yeah, garbage.
I use like the
don't start comparing sound between headphones and outward facing speakers. I was speaking specifically like it's one or the other. They are two different complete things.
It is true.
So my point is, if I was offered Raycons, I would probably think they sound way better than my Gen 1 Jaybirds, because that was like the first commercial wireless headphones.
Yeah.
And it has the cable that runs through the back that transfers power from one ear to the other.
Right.
So $80, I'm not endorsing them, but I would want to at least try them for $80 because I don't think there's anything better unless you spend the $140 for the Samsung. And I've done a lot of research on them.
Yeah.
And that's nobody advocates Raycon, but nobody advocates spending money on wireless headphones unless you can spend at least $100, whatever the price is for the beans.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then the next one up is the Apple Buds, and those are like
$250.
Yeah. So that would be the next tier. And then they usually say if you want the cans, get the Sony
I've heard good
WMX 1000s or whatever.
4000.
Yeah. I've heard those recommended by like actual audio YouTubers.
Yeah.
I've never seen an audio YouTuber recommend Ray Canes or whatever.
No.
Yeah.
And it's true. Like the Sonys get the best reviews out of any other over-ear noise canceling. I mean, even compared to the Bose, the Q85s, I think is what they are now. None of that gets the same as the Sony, which I just don't use the over-ears as much. I used to use headphones all the time, but I always lived in apartments, and it was when I was going to college. Like I needed them, but now I'm like, I have a surround sound in my office. We have a surround sound in our family room, and then I have a Google Home in every room. Plus, the best one, you got to get a Google Home Max. Oh my gosh,
They're so overpriced still.
no,
Dude.
the sound,
I paid
is
50.
just
Yeah, okay, so $50 for a Nest Hub, and then you still have like $150 for a speaker system that isn't the Nest. Like you still have $150 to go get an actual speaker system that would be, for $150 you could get a way better independent speaker than to get the Nest Hub itself. That was my argument against it. So I got 2 Nest Hubs for $100, and I could have got another one plus a $20 in my pocket. You know, I
have an argument for you on that one.
Okay.
So I have, again, I've gotten less because I used to buy headphones all the time. I had the Bose in-ears that were noise canceling. Those were like $300 headphones. They were amazing. And then when they went wireless, I got the wireless Bose, and then I just switched to the Samsungs for in-ears, and then I've got the 2 Surface ones, and I love all of them. But so then I was like, let's get the outward stuff, you know, the good big speakers for the same cost. And this is kind of where I do the comparison. So I have the JBL Boombox. It's the biggest.
That thing's amazing.
So it sounds phenomenal, right?
JBL's solid, yeah.
Yes. So it's a Bluetooth speaker. It's the largest one they make, next to what looks like a full-on
tower.
It's a full-on tower, and it doesn't even use the party system, which they have a specific interconnecting system where you can connect 100 speakers. And once you buy above the boombox, you lose that functionality. And that was kind of the whole reason for buying it. I know people have JBLs, and we usually have 5 or 6 of them connected at a time, which is awesome. But that speaker costs $400, and so does the Google Home Max.
Google Home Max now costs $180.
So not the Nest Hub Max.
Oh, okay. What's the Home Max?
So it's just so it's essentially like it's just a speaker with Google built into it. And it's probably like that tall and that wide. It's a dual speaker system with a subwoofer and a tweeter and everything. So it's their highest end audio file type of, and you can buy 2 and they'll give you stereo.
Well, if you have anything in the Google ecosystem, then you can do you can connect all of them at the same time,
Yes.
without party mode.
Well, yeah, but this is like kind of like the party mode with the JBL.
Yeah.
Well, no, so it goes beyond that. So if you have another one and it recognizes that it's the same speaker, they work in stereo, right?
Ooh.
So you have a left and a right channel. So it understands kind of how to make that work.
So you could do surround sound for like a home theater setup.
Yes. So that speaker just, and it has the, room sensing with the auto EQ. So it's got a lot of like sensors in it that double check to make sure the audio sounds correct. And it's got way more low end than most of the speakers. So, I mean, if you listen to any of mine, and I would be happy to do this with you, we could listen to all of them in the house. And I'm telling you, the Max is my favorite speaker. And if it wasn't so expensive, that would be the one in every room. But it's the loudest. It's got the most bass. I mean, it's a beautiful speaker.
Yeah.
But those 2 things sound very similar. I mean, when you start getting into that range of higher end speakers, if you think all I got with the JBL, it's portable, yes, and it's Bluetooth, but Google isn't built into it. I can't do any of that functionality. For the same money, I was able to get something that plugs in at home, has really good sound quality, and it has a Google Smart Assistant built into it with Wi-Fi capabilities and Bluetooth.
Yeah.
So it's not the worst price. Don't get me wrong. It's not the best, but it's also not the worst when you think like a surround sound system can cost you $2,000 to $3,000 for a good one.
Yeah.
It's outside of my realm. I just want to hear some music, man. I don't.
Sound.
The best audio system I own is in my car right now.
That's okay. That's for a lot of people though.
Yeah. So I think it has the Bose in there, and I love it. But
Holy moly, we got deep into the audio realm.
Yeah.
nothing wrong with
It's
that.
an important part of video.
Yeah, it's made a huge difference in a lot of our videos. I mean, if you go back and watch videos from 2007, if the video's okay and the audio's bad, it's barely watchable. But if the audio's good and the video's bad, you're like, oh my gosh, this is such a good comedy sketch. Or oh, this interview with Craig Ferguson or whatever, this is such a funny sketch or whatever. Audio really lasts the test of time compared to video. It's just always going to get better and better. But you know, a good microphone from 60 years ago, like if you have the interface, it can still capture good audio, and that's what blows me away with it. But talking about headphones, man, I just don't like cans. I think they weigh too much.
What's wrong with that?
They hurt my neck after like an hour. Or
Even
like the cups. I need to change out the plastic on these. I want like actual pads. I don't like these.
These aren't great.
But no, I got the ones that you recommended, and I've worn those Sonys. I've worn $600 sound canceling Bose. And that was for like a 6-hour plane ride. It's like after
the Philips ones that I got you.
I don't.
You don't like those?
After
Those are
after about an hour of playing games, they're uncomfortable.
do
Do you
wrong
have
with
like
your
a
head?
I was gonna say, do you have like a really like gosh, why can't I think of the word of it's the opposite of strong. Weak. Yeah, I was like, do you have a weak neck or something?
No, it's just I don't like. Same thing if I wear hats or scarves or anything like just touching my head or neck. After a while, like it gets uncomfortable and it doesn't feel good.
We should get him some AirPods Max.
Dude, I
left.
want to get some in-ears, like some better in-ears to replace my Jaybirds.
The only thing I have to say, and this is a good thing for everybody, I guess I never thought about it, but the Beans, the Galaxy Buds Live, the ones that I use, it depends upon the size of your ear canal. Because of the way that they fit in your ear, they can be uncomfortable for long wearing periods because they fit so tightly into your ear hole. So that's something to think about because there's no rubber. It's just plastic. So the seal is nice and they fit in and you can barely see them when they're in. They're nice and concealed and they sound good. They even have some noise canceling abilities. But like if you want comfortable, those I don't recommend those for something long-term comfortable wise. But they have the Galaxy Buds Pro, which is like the next step up. Those are a little more traditional, but they've got like the little rubber and stuff. And people say that those are the notch above. So just keep that in consideration. I don't want everybody going out there buying these buds and then being like, dang it.
I think I'll probably just get the Apple headphones. I think that'll probably be my next purchase.
AirPods?
They have the highest reviews.
I don't know. I think
Well, of course they do.
No, like not by quantity, like by tech reviewers. They say it's either the Samsungs or these if you want to spend under $150. Otherwise, the next thing up is I haven't seen anything higher recommended than the Apple headphones.
Try on the Bose.
For in-ears.
Go try the in-ear Bose. I think Bose has the best designed earpiece out of all of them.
The loop around the ear though?
Nope.
What is it?
So what it looks like is you have like your normal earbud, like the rubber piece that would go in your ear, but then attached to that is also a rubber, what kind of looks like a fang, I guess would be a good shape. Because it's not a triangle, right? It's kind of like swooping, but it's got two lines that connect each other in a point. And it fits inside of, the next piece of your ear that's like outside the ear canal. So like that, where it kind of dips in, it's like a bowl. It fits into that spot. They are the most secure, most comfortable headphones I have ever worn in my entire life. And but from all of their in-ears that's the design that they use. And they use this design for their sleep headphones that they put out white noise to help you sleep at night. So these are comfortable enough that you could wear them all night long.
Okay. Yeah.
Don't knock it till you try it.
Yeah. So the problem with noise canceling though, because I with my Jaybirds is if I have in-ears and I'm working out, like they pull up sweat on the inside.
What are you doing, man?
I'm working out, man.
Dang, I do not have that problem.
Well, I don't. When we work out, I don't sweat enough because we don't do any like intense high interval training. We usually just lift.
Yeah.
But if I'm at the gym and I want to do high interval training, like I did back in college, as soon as like I like hit like 180 on my heart rate or whatever, like doing high cardio, and before I drop down, if I'm doing that for an hour, they're comfortable, but then I start sweating and then they just fall out. The nice thing is I've never had them break due to sweat, and a lot of other wireless headphones will break if you sweat too much with them, because they're water resistant, but if you do that for like an hour a day for a year, they'll break on them.
Dude, you got to borrow my Bose, and you should just try them.
You want me to sweaty up your Bose?
I don't care. I gave them to Audrey, and she doesn't use them.
Everybody's built different, especially when it comes like to audio stuff. But man, I feel like these are your headphones. I just went and picked them up, Tristan.
Yeah.
These are my favorite pair of headphones. If you're going to be in an enclosed, quiet room, because you have to have closed back ones if you're going to be out in public, because these bleed out and they let everything in, so it sounds like you're not even wearing them.
And so when you're wearing your Cardi or listening to your Cardi B and everybody can hear you.
My Cardi B, but that's how you get the sound stage, which just makes it sound like the music is in the room with you. But they're the most comfy headphones I've ever worn.
It makes them lighter too without the caps on them.
So that's like
which is a nice sell.
The biggest source of discomfort is from the weight of like a headphone and how it's distributed, and these do it so well. So that's why I'm so confused.
Think you can make it?
I don't think your head's as fat as mine is the problem.
I love these things so much.
Give it a shot.
Yeah, you need a fatter head like me, because the problem with those is the weight across the band across the top for me. It's after about an hour, the top of my head starts to get sore, and then
you have them on too tight.
Well, then if I loosen, I have them as loose as I can.
No, those were like synced up like a whole bunch.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
After about an hour, I'll loosen them up, and then they like sag down on my neck a little bit. And then also, if my wife's watching TV, then they bleed through. So I need like a separate room.
They're way more comfortable than what we got on right now. Holy crap!
Yeah, no, they definitely are, but they would also bleed for a podcast, so we have to have clothes for this.
Yeah, we don't want that.
You need clothes for this type of thing. So
we don't want you to hear us twice. We're actually, speaking of all these things, we're getting ready to shoot a music video this coming weekend that we're super excited about. It's actually a full performance, which will be fun. So hopefully he's prepared. So we're shooting this video at my parents have my dad has this studio room in his barn at his house, and it's like a double insulated wall. It's specifically made to have music played in it and recorded in it. So we're going to be doing it in this room. We'll have to try out some equipment.
I want to hear good audio. I want to know what it feels like.
No, we're going to do it. Seriously. There's like every good speaker you could think of in there. And like he was playing them for me the other day, and you can just, when you do that, there's something about that sound, you know, it's just like the experience with your headphones, David. Like it's amazing. But he has a pair of studio grade headphones that are specifically for, you know, listening and mixing and doing all those things. You got to try them on, because they've got like microfiber, like memory foam ear cups.
We talking the Sennheisers?
Yes.
Ooh, like the HD.
Yeah, they're the Sennheisers.
Yeah.
And thank you, because I couldn't remember. And when we used to record my podcast with Liv at the house there, I used those headphones every time because they were amazing.
Yeah, the sound profile of those headphones are like 5% off of the Sennheiser ones, and they're like $80.
Oh,
so
gosh,
you get
really?
Almost Sennheiser quality performance from those for like a fraction of the cost. Yeah,
and they're Philips.
Yeah, they're Philips.
I would have never
came
guessed
out of nowhere. They just decided like, hey, here's some effing headphones, $80.
Is that what we have?
Yeah, those are what those.
Do they have closed backs versions of them, or is it open?
I don't know.
We could get them for the podcast.
I wouldn't get them. I like my open back.
Well, for the podcast specifically.
Well.
Yeah, because it'd be nice to have some comfy ears.
Yeah,
we could look into it.
Just want some in-ears, man.
No, I get it. You'll have to try some stuff. I know you used to be able to go to a Bose store, and now they're all gone.
Really?
Yeah. There was one at Keystone. There was one at Taylorsville, and I mean, I can remember going in and just like cranking everything up. I don't think you can do the in-ears at Best Buy, but maybe you can.
I don't think.
Probably not anymore.
They have them there now.
You get COVID through your ears.
COVID.
And you get that ear COVID.
Yeah. But no, I mean, these are still really nice headphones. The Philips ones that you recommended. And out of all of the cans I've ever used, they feel the best. I can't tell a difference between the sound quality of those and the Audio Technicas we're wearing, but I listen to pop music, so.
Right? It's like, my Kanye doesn't sound any different.
Oh, we were talking about the Nest hubs. The drivers inside of the iMac are actually better than the wireless systems, which is probably just because they have bigger speakers, and then the Resonate on the inside of the aluminum chassis probably helps a little bit. But yeah, the best audio in my house sometimes, like if I'm sitting here with the Nest hub right next to me, I'll go ahead and play the Spotify on my Mac just because it sounds better than on the hubs.
It's better than nothing.
Oh yeah, I mean, I'm the same way. I got a hub next to my computer, but I'm like, I use my computer speakers because they're number one. It's a 5.1, so it's way better. But
who was the music video? Did we say?
brother.
it's my brother. Yes,
Your brother? Okay.
So my brother
Yeah.
Cade, he's actually when I used to do the podcast with Liv and we were doing the Life and Lattes version of that, which you guys can look it up. My brother was on that a couple times, so we talk about some of what he's doing. But he moved to Nashville, Tennessee to pursue music.
Okay.
And so he has a show coming up on April 2nd. In Nashville, Tennessee. It's going to be his first real big play out show alone. So he's going to come here and do a little practice session.
Stroke.
And so he's going to come
man.
here. Tristan and I are going to go. We're going to film. We figured it would be mutually beneficial for both of us. Nice. And that room is really cool. My dad has LifeX lights all built into the ceiling, and so I think there's like 6.
He's rich.
I don't know about that.
LifeX, it's like a $40 bulb.
I have a lot of LifeX bulbs. I ain't rich.
Life hack.
I talked him into
AirPods
it.
Max.
I was like, get you some LifeX.
Crazy.
So
So we're gonna go out there and do a music video.
So it's going to be cool because we'll actually we'll be using all of their equipment to record the audio. So we'll have really nice mics that are built specifically for guitar amps and for vocals. And I forget the brand that he uses for his input, but it's like a big 8-channel mixer that brings everything in, and then they use Logic to record everything. So we'll have like some really good audio to work with, and then we'll film everything and make it look all nice and moody, and we're excited about it. So look for that. And Tristan and I talked about we're going to try to make sure we get some BTS, so we'll have that for you guys once we finish up the actual version. So.
Yeah, it'll come out after the 6 BTS that still need edited.
I know. It's my fault too.
Vitalian.
Tristan, how are we looking on time, buddy?
No, we are over.
Oh, okay.
I didn't want to interrupt you or anything.
I love interrupting.
Yeah, I wish you would interrupt me more. I mean, I feel like all I did was talk.
Yeah, Tristan, you never talk on these podcasts.
I know. It's wild.
So
Yeah.
but yeah. So that leaves some topics for next time, of course. So
I guess we should
we'll carry everything over.
I think we should hire back Tristan.
Yeah.
I think
Yeah,
it's
buddy.
putting his
I'm back.
worth.
We're okay.
I'm
we
back.
We should come back. We miss you.
You
Okay.
could be like CEO or whatever. I don't care.
Yeah, it would be weird not having you. So
Yeah. So this past week, I haven't played Valheim very much, but the week before, I pumped in some hours.
some hours, bro.
Some hours, and you're back in town, and you're pumping in hours at night. I've been working all night.
Making progress.
You've been playing chess. I don't see you on as
I've
much.
just been tired. I haven't had the energy to play Valheim.
You've been coughing? Yeah, so regardless, we talked about this before. We spend way too much time playing this game. It's getting a little healthier, but still a little too much. So next time we're on, we'll talk about my idea for making that a little more efficient use of our time, or a little more equalized between productivity and our recreational video game time in the evening.
Yeah.
I think we're onto something here. So if you guys want to find out how to equalize your productivity to video game time in the evening, check us out next time, because we're gonna break it down.
Yeah, we're gonna break it down.
All right, man. That's the show.
That's the show.
That's the show.
We appreciate everybody that's been listening.
Except for
Tell
you.
a friend.
One person.
One person. What's his name? What's that guy's name?
Jeffrey. His name's Jeffrey.
Melanie.
Yeah, Melanie. Jeffrey.
Melanie, if you're watching, you're not welcome here.
See you next time.
Yeet!